Good, y'all, and welcome back to another recap from Married at First Sight, season 15. I do believe we're like on episode 7, and I know I asked. I was ready for them to move in. I was ready for the stuff to hit the fan because, I was like, the honeymoon stages was cute, but I was like, all right, come on. Like, I'm ready to just see them to get into these issues so I can, like, make these predictions on whether they're going to make it or not. And, y'all, I don't know why I be saying that because I can't take it. When they go through it, I can't take it because my heart starts to break and I be like, oh God. I've been looking at it like, all right, this setting the precedence. This they gonna look at this on decision day and be like, nah, I can't come back from that. Y'all, what is going on to my favorite peeps? First off, I want to thank you, especially if you stopped to watch this good old video, even if it is for you a little while. Pause. Don't leave it yet. Don't drop off yet. Stick around for a little bit. So this is obviously for all my newbies, right? So check out some videos, see if you like your girl, and of course, stick around because I want you on this good old whatever with me, okay? As we talk and gossip and spill some tea and just shed some light and some insight and some wisdom and just some good old dirty raunchy TV stuff. To all my oldies but goodies, what is going on? I hope y'all are good. Do you got your drink? You got a blunt? You got one? You gonna pass it? Are we shit? Is we matching tonight? Okay, all right. Look, come on, y'all already know what to do. We got to get comfortable. We got to get ready. We are on episode 7, Real Life Reckoning. And I guess real life really is reckoning because they've moved in. Okay. And y'all, correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all already know. Get in those comments. Get in those comments, okay? But correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the first set of couples where everybody has moved in after the honeymoon? Like me, like I was sitting there watching it, me and my daughter, and I was sitting here like, why does like something just seem different that they're doing versus what the other couples are doing? And don't get me wrong, because clearly like I felt like each process was the same. After the honeymoon, they move in. And I felt like I was saying to Jada, I was like, I think it's the fact that all the couples never all moved in on after the honeymoon. Like somebody always needed breaks or somebody just need, drama or whatever. And they just need to have to separate. It was never a season where all the couples actually moved in together. And I don't know. When we were just watching this, we were just feeling like something was just off. Something was just different. Something different. Like, okay, like for starters, like for one, I did feel like the apartments were different. I did feel like, not that they were different, but I felt like either they never paid attention to it at first, or maybe I never paid attention to it at first, but I really feel like the setup, the look, like the aesthetics of their apartments was very more, like they made sure to make it like wifey, hubby, like in real, like I like the whole, like, and just like personalized, like their names on stuff, like their names on like their mats and monograms on the mats, and just like it's really felt like they really stuck to the marriage aesthetic, the true honeymoon phase of what a real couple would probably, look like when they first, get their home together. They're living together and they got all this matching wifey hubby stuff, and then the monograms with their on their mailbox, on their doormats, on their like just like whatever. I don't know. It just seems so different from the other seasons, but I really feel like it was always overshadowed. I feel like it was overshadowed, y'all, because of the other couples on the season. There was at least 1 or 2 couples on the other season that just did not move in, and I just feel like that ended up just taken away. I don't know. Maybe I don't know why. Was I the only one who felt like this? Y'all know how I do. I talk fast. I start stuttering, repeating myself over and over. I'm gonna calm down, but y'all let me know. Was I just having a moment? Was I crazy? Did something just not feel different about them moving in? I don't know. But either way, so Everybody moved in, and then they all had a visit from Pastor Cal. And if you do not already know, I am like a big fan of like Pastor Cal, okay? Out of all these professionals that they've had like on the show, like one, Dr. V, like I'm upset because it sounds like she's gone and she's not coming back, but I love Dr. Pepper. I love Dr. Pepper. And then, but when they got Pastor Cal versus the other pastor that they recently, like Pastor Cal, I just feel like is a no nonsense. And especially as far as like on the men's side and from the men's like perspective for somebody for the men to relate to, I feel like they just got the perfect guy. Like Pastor Cal is not don't let these men like he gonna check them. He gonna give them like I absolutely love Pastor Cal. Like I love Pastor Cal. I love Dr. Pepper. Now that they got rid of Dr. V, is that her name? That was like Dr. V, right? Like either way, y'all, like Pastor Cal, like he got all my love. He got all my support. So of course I know they always start off by like, after they move in, they check out each other's places or whatever or whatnot. And like, let's be honest here. Why do we be getting on these guys for like how their places be looking? Oh, it's what Nate had a dusty place. I think Miguel had a dusty place. Maybe first off, Mitch's place was just downright nasty. And dude like had the nerve to just be like kind of proud. I ain't gonna say he was proud, but he was just like, yeah, that's just a little bit messy. Like not even like having no shame about it, but just like, yeah, that's just a little mess back there. Oh, that's just a little mess there. That's just a little mess. Like, sir. But at the same time, I like don't be putting so much oomph into this. Like men who live, they are gonna live like men. It's gonna definitely look like a bachelor pad. So I never really just get. I'm not gonna lie though. Mitch's place was definitely. I think his place might have been the worst of all places. Because one thing that I don't like is leaving my home when I know I'm gonna be gone for like an extended a period of time. Like even if I don't do like a full thorough clean, I don't always do a full thorough clean. Like I need it to look in some way. I don't want my stove to be like coming back to a stove still nasty and full of like old grease and food and just like dishes full of sink. Like that's basically how Mitch left his place. Like it was just. I'm not mad at Lindy for feeling like, yeah, this will probably be the last time I come back here. Like, sir, let's just tighten up. All right, y'all. Getting into these couples, Lindy and Miguel. Like, first off, why didn't we see Lindy's place? Did anybody else notice that we did not take a tour of Lindy's place? We did see, Miguel's place. He brought out Bear Man. I'm not gonna lie. I was like I was weak. I think it's just cute that because I think I talked, but I think that was like my worry in the beginning was just like, okay, how is she going to feel about like this, his persona, like his gaming thing, like his, that, nerdy side, that little side, that like he's into. Like I honestly feel like the Lindy that I looked at on the first episode is not the Lindy that I'm looking at now through like these episodes or whatever or whatnot. But like she's totally into it, totally with it, I think what I was just kind of like confused about because clearly like we're not getting but so much time spaced out with these couples or whatever in these weeks. So when first move-in day, they're, having this low-key heated conversation about decision day because we know decision day does trigger, Lindy. And it kind of was like agreed upon that we're not really gonna bring that up, as a thing. And so the great outcome was they decided to turn it around and turn it into vow renewal day. But also now, basically Miguel has been saved from, decision day or looking, or so focused into decision day. And which he does, and I guess maybe he does admit basically that, that he was looking for a reason. when Pastor Kyle comes to visit, they get to talking, and they're talking about how Lindy went in, like no matter what was going to come her way, like this was a lifelong thing. This was her person. Whereas Miguel was more of like, I'm going to give this person my everything for a full 8 weeks, and then we're just going to see what happens. I'm going to see if this is somebody who I can make a lifetime commitment with. In the beginning, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was like, I was open to how he felt, and I was open to what he was saying. And hearing it that second time, it hit me like, so basically, you were like, what's the words? How, like, oh my God, I think I might have just totally just lost my whole train of thought. But basically, right, like it's a marriage, y'all. It's a marriage. So right, he went into this like, I'm going to see how we do in 8 weeks and decide of whether like that's whatever. And I mean, when you look at it, though, that's the process though. That's the process. So you're going to get married in 8 weeks. You're going to make the decision of whether you want to stay married or not. It's not like we're going to get married and now like they actually have a point in moment, a pivotal point where they can make a decision to. So still when I'm even still now, when I'm still even saying that, like, I'm not low key mad at him for still like taking the realization to that, but at the same time, for at the end of the day, it is a marriage. And if you're looking at it at an 8 weeks versus like a lifetime process, right? With that being said, I think I can understand that point in seeing how looking from one view versus the other view can may possibly like skew your view overall, if that makes sense to y'all. So you know that's him. So while I'm a little bit confused, or a little bit not sure if Miguel is really where he says he is as far as like the whole decision day thing, time will tell. We shall see. They've had their other than this whole decision day thing, and his outlook on that, they haven't really like had any you know issues or like fights or troubles yet. And Lindy's like, I'm just waiting, I'm waiting. And I think that's what it is. Like, and for me too, because as a person who's just watching, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for things to hit the fan, with these couples. So I can only imagine as someone being in it, what's going to happen. So like you're low key anticipating it. But Pastor Cal is right in the whole portion of don't welcome it, like, because it's definitely gonna come, because you welcoming it, and it can literally be the worst of the worst. It can literally be the thing that you guys are not prepared for. And like Pastor Cal said, you don't even have the tools to deal with this just yet, and you're being thrown into this. So yeah, baby, give it time. Give it time. I got plenty of time to run into y'all, issues or whatever, troubles that y'all, are gonna run through. Like, move on from that. Like, not don't even like stay in that for long. So it's another thing for them that I felt like that, we definitely got to talk about, y'all, is this whole like, so Lindy has requested that he not tell her when basically he's feeling emotionally disconnected, or if he's not feeling it, or if he's wanting to pull away. She doesn't want to know that, because that's going to mess her up. And while he was like, yeah, I can't do that, because then basically it's going to mess me up. Like, and I understand both of their perspectives. I think I'm more on the side. I can't say I agree basically with Lindy, but it does make me think, y'all. As you can see, like I'm really even trying to like form my words and how I feel about that whole thing. Because for me, I'm like, if we're not good, I kind of want to know we're not good. If you're not happy with me in that moment, if you're like But is that healthy in a relationship? Should we? I don't know. I just feel like it's dishonest to carry things as if, because I'm not someone who can act like, if I'm not okay with you in the moment, I don't know if I can act like I'm okay with you in that moment. So, and then I have to, you see what I'm saying? Like, now I have to forget putting that on you. Let me put it back on me and let me see how I can handle that. What would I do if I was a person requesting that of my person, but knowing that I couldn't request that of somebody because I don't know how I. That's. I tell you, some like this, like some of the stuff in these shows be like opening up for other conversations, and maybe that just need to be stuff that like I need to like to start. Like I just feel like I want to talk about it more, but clearly like this is not the space for it. So like, like not that it's not the space, but I don't want to draw out these videos on like a specific subject. So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to talk about it here. I don't know if we're going to talk about it on my personal channel. But I don't know, y'all. We're going to figure it out. But I don't, I don't know. That really just stuck out to me about that whole thing. And basically, Miguel was just like, I've been that person in other relationships and it's not gone well. It's basically I keep my peace for so long that now when I'm ready to check out, these people are looking at me like, well, why are you just telling me? And he's basically saying, well, I don't necessarily know if that was necessarily the case. If these other people were saying to him like, hey, don't tell, like basically requesting the same things that I think Miguel has just been not vocal. He's not been vocal. He's not had a voice. And because he's not had a voice, but I'll just say he's not always been vocal in his relationships. And so that's why he's like now, like, no, I need you to know. I need to tell you in order for me not to even lose myself, for me not to even it very well needs to be a compromise. But one thing that Pastor Cal said is how and when. If you need to relay this information, how are you relaying it and when are you relaying it? So with that said, I think keeping that in mind is what's going to make the difference on that conversation just all in general, on making her feel okay and as well making him feel okay, so that wow, obviously she's getting something that's not what she wants. Like, she doesn't want him to express certain things, but he's putting it out there in a way that maybe like it's disguised a bit. Like basically like he's saying it to her, but doesn't sound like so harsh. She doesn't feel like it's a punishment, like towards her, because that's what basically what she was saying was like how she would feel if that's what he did. Like, I don't want to feel like you're punishing me for blase, 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 blase. So like that part's going to be interesting on how they play that out. Like, I definitely feel like that's something that needs to continue to like be a conversation to talk about until that's something get resolved, because I'm now like really understanding the whole, like, we need to talk about it, we need to talk about it, we need to talk about it, and not walk away from it until we have come to some form of, resolution. And as well, it's really just pinpointing out to me my own communication, not style, but just how I communicate, and how I communicate has played out in my relationships. And so, like, I don't know, for me sometimes, y'all, watching some of the stuff that I watch is more of like a healing and life lessons on for me. So I take in a lot of the stuff that these people go through in this marriage at first sight process. But see what I'm saying? Like, I've been literally just stayed on Lindy and Miguel, and like, let's move on, y'all. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. Let's go. Okay. I was gonna make them last, but we're just gonna go ahead and go ahead and get on them on y'all, because Alexis and Justin, their high has finally hit a low. And it all came down to about the dogs. It all came down to about their little humans that they see as, their children, their babies. I have not owned a dog since I was a kid. So I really want to tread lightly, on this subject and not I'll speak to, if I feel like if I'm speaking to how I feel, I will speak to how I will feel from that age of how I felt like where my dog was then. I'm not even to say like if I got a dog now, I want to feel some type of way, but like, let's be clear. I like animals. I'm over dog person. So yeah, and I have owned 2 dogs in my life, but I was a kid. And we've had plenty of fish. Okay. So with that being said, moving wise, like honestly, they don't seem like anything would be, of an issue. Like typical woman, closet full of stuff. I had already seen that. If you did not see Alexis being the girl with the closet full of clothes and shoes from the jump, then you totally just missed the boat. But either way, so they did have a talk about this whole, the dog situation. I will agree with Alexis. Justin did play it down, but at the same time, I remember him basically saying, but he played it down that, because Newton is her dog, Kia, is it Maya? No, Maya is his dog. He basically said that Maya isn't easy to come around, or isn't always, easy to get along with dogs. He made mention, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, that there could be a possibility that this meeting together could not all well go well. As well, they're confused on how the dogs are supposed to cohabitate, how they're supposed to introduce themselves. One, Maya was eyeing Newton from the jump. And I'm trying to figure out, so nobody else is seeing how Maya is looking at Newton. I think what threw me off was the fact that clearly Maya's the bigger dog, but Maya's a girl. And Newton is the dude. And Maya is very aggressive to Newton. Like she a boy. Like, I was confused at them for a second. I thought they were the other way around. And I was just like, no, that's right. Like, what's the thing has the male dog? Justin has like the female dog. Like, y'all, either way, everything was good. Alexis decides to let, Newton off the chain. So Newton's roaming around the house. So at the same time, that to me, that spoke volumes because Justin was still holding on to Maya on the leash. Boy, good old Newton trying to understand the place, take a little second, walking around the place, walks by Maya, like, yeah. He's like, see how you got scared? I got scared too. Like, y'all, it went left really quick. Like, Maya really did end up attacking Newton. And Newton was bleeding at the eye or whatever or whatnot. And I automatically knew that Alexis was going to check out. And I'm concerned at this point that Alexis is done. I honestly feel like Alexis is done at this point. And it sucks because like that, like I said it in the beginning, that everybody puts on the face in the beginning. Everybody puts on the face, and then it's like once you get in, then the colors start to arise. And Justin really seems like a great, good guy. But then with this happening, and then Alexis talking about him seeming manipulative and like this and like that, and I'm like, God, Justin, like, come on, dude. Like, why? Y'all, like this it's just not going good. Alexis obviously takes Newton to go get checked out. He got the whole cone thing, on his head. Justin clearly feeling like absolute crap, and I'm feeling so bad. I'm feeling such empathy and sympathy as well. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, for Justin. Like he, even takes a point to even, but clearly it's like I feel bad for him, but at the same time he told on himself, so it's kind of just like I like, bruh, you didn't leave it to me, y'all, to be spilling stuff. Like, you didn't brought this on your own. Like, you done brought this up on your own, dog. Like he completely just like brought this like on his own self. But so he decides to take Maya, to like a training like camp facility for dogs or whatever or whatnot. And even makes mention that he told Alexis that if it came down to it, he would get rid of his dog. So imagine when they meet with Pastor Cal, and now we as the audience are getting the other side of the things that we don't know about. Her feeling like, the miscommunication, is off or whatever or whatnot. Like, and I mean, I I want to blame Alexis so bad. Not even that I want to blame. I want to put a responsibility on her, and which at the same time, maybe I'm not saying that this is her fault, but at the same time, as a dog owner, maybe she should have. But hey, you're in bliss. You feel like you're in love right now. You feel like you can trust this person. Whatever, whatever, whatever. But so, she's basically felt like that. Basically, something's wrong basically with Justin, and that he possibly has an issue with telling and expressing the truth. All right. So that basically then ends up turning into basically he basically told Alexis that basically Mike can handle it, Newton will be okay, and basically that's what broke all trust, with her, because you told me that everything was good. I put this in your hands, and then now look, this is how this looked. And so he's feeling like, oh, well, it's not that I'm not telling her, he's feeling like he's told her everything when I just not told her everything, because apparently Maya has gotten into other fights. And Justin sounds like a typical mom at that. The whole, oh, well, yeah, she has, but it's irrelevant because she was basically provoked in those fights. Like they provoked her. Like Maya didn't do anything. Y'all, when he said that, I was like, oh yeah, basically Maya started those fights. Basically, Maya did, bro. And he very well, y'all, could be telling the truth. But when he said it, something in me was just like, yeah, sorry, yeah, no. You sound like a mom who feels like their child don't do no wrong. I'm sorry, Justin, but that's what the gift that I was given. So, adding a fuel to that, she's just like, hey, at the end of the day, I just want you to stick by your word. What was his word was that he would give up Maya if things did not end up working out, if she didn't, get better or do good at, the training facility. And he took that like, here's the thing. All right, let me be real. Alexis did sound kind of harsh about it when she said it. At the same time, I'm trying to understand her at the same time, because it was her dog that was attacked. She's feeling betrayed. She's kind of like on the defense. Like, I want to stay together. Like, you're going to do this so that we can stay married. Da, da, da. I feel like I'm in danger. Da, boom, 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 boom. But at the same time, you know how you feel about your dog. And if somebody was to tell you that you possibly, like, even if you said it, and at the same time that I'm mad at Jessica, just like, why would you say that? Why would you? But I know why he said it. I know why he said that at the same time, but it was just like y'all are both over here, like, being so quick, and y'all are fucking each other. Y'all are fucking yourselves and then fucking each other at the same time. Like, it's a mess, y'all. It's just a total mess. And now I'm looking at them like this the couple that's gonna, make it to the end and da 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 da. Yeah, no, I'm worried. I'm worried for Alexis and Justin. So, moving on to our next couple, y'all. So, Mitch and Kristen. All right, goodness gracious. Like I said, Mitch lives like a slob. Kristen has a dog who breathes, who has some medical stuff. So he like is like constantly, breathing heavy, you know. So other than that though, I'm gonna make this prediction now. I'm gonna just go ahead and make it. They're gonna make it to the end. I just feel like because they're running into so much stuff, into so much, just because it's not coming out all perfect and being all rainbows and sunshines in the beginning. That's why I feel like they're possible they're going to make it to the end. And even meeting with Pastor Cal, clearly Mitch is like, you can see him, like, just the talk of being in love and love, and like his mind is just like he I see what the whole Mitch being overwhelmed thing is about, because he looked like he wanted to get up and run from that conversation, like y'all, they're already on two different, Mitch is someone who's, never really been in love, never really had long-term relationships. Kristen is somebody who falls in love easily, basically jumps head first in, like, she's all in. And it's definitely going to be interesting, on how all, but they're vibing. But it definitely does seem like they're vibing, but they're not able to go past, like, but so far into the future. And I get that's where, because Mitch, and that's where he gets all amped up and all, whatever. But and I feel like even Kristen, I feel like Kristen is stifling herself back and saying, "Oh, we." She's making it a we. When I don't feel like it's a we. I feel like it's more of a Mitch thing, and now it's just a we thing for Face. I very well could be wrong, because Kristen does very well have her reasons for, jumping into this lightly, being cautious, but I very feel that Mitch is going to, like I said, if they're moving slow in their relationship, it's because of Mitch. I like Kristen, I feel like Kristen's all in. Like I said, I very well like them even sitting there in front of Pascal. I was like, yo, y'all really look good as a couple. Y'all really look nice couple. It seems like y'all really compliment each other. But Mitch not having that experience, I feel like is going to be challenging, because I feel like he doesn't necessarily know, and so he's going to want to run when, or take things just like, oh, pause, or just like he's going to be the detriment of, like, but at the same time, something in me is like something's going to click, something's going to switch, something's going to something. And but that whole him not being, it does worry me. And even them just to talk about love and being in love, and not wanting to talk about future stuff and looking into the future, kids. But I mean, shoot, they literally talked about finances, right then and there, in front of him. And Kristen is not a numbers girl. She's not a, I need my man to make this much. She meant what she said when she said she wanted somebody who was passionate about their work. And she's getting that, in Mitch. What he makes is not, making her think different, whatever. I want them to go their own pace. I want them to get to things how they want to do it. By the way, in which they consummated their marriage, they went and got things popping. Like, she went and basically like just did something nice for him, just out the kindness of her heart, and ended up getting this mason jars with like coupons in it. And boy wanted to check in on the bubble bath that expired that night, the bubble bath coupon with your wife. And that opened up into her talking about like taking it to the next level, which, they did. So Yo. Like, I stand by what I say, but it's a matter of just how they're gonna get there. And that's what I don't need to worry about. I don't need to worry about how they're gonna get there because they are gonna get there. I at this point, they're the couple I have the most faith in at this point. Like, I ain't gonna fret. I have the most faith in them, and that's it. So Morgan and Ben, I definitely feel like are gonna have like some of the biggest compromise. Not even the biggest, excuse me. I don't want to say their compromise are gonna be the biggest, but I just feel like they're gonna be the couple that compromises like the most because like you would think that like Ben and Mitch, like Mitch being like, a person who's like, all about the earth and saving the earth and, like just green type of person. And like low key, and well, that's like a little bit of a difference because Ben is not green. He's just more about saving money. So he does things that's all about, saving money. So his whole, laundry thing, which actually, y'all, like I feel like he taught me something new, which was if it's actually true, and maybe I need to do a little bit more research. Maybe it could depend on like, where you live or whatever. But basically, I understood it that basically between 4 to 9 is when your electric companies or whatever is, or would it be the water, since technically that's water? I don't know, but either way, they are charging more around the times where I guess washing is like high peak. So I don't know. Maybe I won't know the difference. Maybe I will, but I'm going to start trying to do my laundry before 4 o'clock p.m. So anywhere between 4 and 9, I'm not going to do laundry. So no more evening, night washing or whatever, basically, or whatnot. So early in the day washing, which makes sense because a lot of times that's when nobody is home. So that would be an ideal time to wash, like if you kind of like think about it. So, the unplugging thing. Like I'm not even like lights, like obviously like my ring light doesn't stay, it might have actually stayed plugged. But for the most part, like it doesn't like stay plugged when it's not in use. My toaster doesn't stay plugged when it's not in use. My microwave, that does stay plugged. We use that too often. My toaster, obviously my waffle oven, my waffle maker, it goes in a cabinet when I'm done using it. Like certain things I can definitely feel him on because I do unplug certain things. I'm with him on the lighting during the day. We don't use much light. I'm a person who's all about natural light. I like natural light. I like opening my blinds and letting natural light get in. And then I'm just, not that I'm nosy, but I like to see stuff going on. So I just want to see like what's going on, even though where my apartment is, I don't really see a lot, but it's okay. So, Morgan doesn't necessarily live in that type of like lifestyle type thing. Like, she plays her game. So like, while yes, certain things like the air fryer, like she agreed that, okay, boom, I could definitely, unplug some things or whatever. Like but as much as I was thinking like, this is going to like be a thing. I'm worried about how this is going to look. I'm worried about how this is going to impact the relationship. Like it honestly, thus far, doesn't seem like this is going to be like a end all be all, type for them, like their whole differences and like their lifestyles, if that's how you want to call it. Okay, let me just say this though, because I don't have a cat, have never had a cat, I'm not a cat person, but like Ben, you've never heard of like just general talk about cats. He's having like, bro, like just like what the questions that he's having. It's just like, this is not a dog, bro. I don't understand cats either. How they know that the litter box is where they're supposed to go pee. Maybe they need to be trained. I don't know. Again, like I said, I've never owned a cat. Like, but he's literally talking like he's never heard of a cat. He doesn't know what cats do. Like, all right, boom. So they're meeting with Pastor Cal. Like, okay, so boom. Obviously, they're coming off of their, this somewhat betrayal, like moment when the whole conversation, which I'm glad. let's talk about that first, because Morgan does talk about she clears up the whole nursing thing. So she got her an associate's in nursing, which basically, and then when I realized it as going to Bryan and Stratton, and that's how a lot of people, got into nursing. It is, like that or whatever. When Bryan and Stratton was like, at my Bryan and Stratton nursing, the nursing program was a big program there. But basically, yes, she got an associate's and then opened it up for her to be able to get like a license or whatever or whatnot. So she did clear it up that basically she is a nurse or whatever or whatnot, clearly. And even then, who are we to say after one class? Because think about it, like she's probably going through like clinicals and like there's just so much. So even now thinking about it and how I was like even prying into her, like trying to understand how she was a nurse, if she like I low-key like kind of like feel bad or whatever, whatnot. But she proved her credentials. Ben, even agreed that in the moment, like clearly, he overreacted. He's so apologetic, to her, and that he's about, making it up to her and making, them feeling back comfortable and the trust being there. And I believe him. Like he Ben genuinely seems very, genuine. And as much as he seems so childlike, they look very, they look very cute together. And Morgan seems to be, feeling it. So even when it came down to like, okay, like, all right, so y'all had this, spot that y'all had to hurdle over, now we have to get over it. Clearly that caused, a bit of trust issues, for Morgan, but, for Pastor Cal doing what he do, like, so how we're going to move from that? How we're going to progress from that? Same as like, with Alexis and Justin, like, y'all had this hurdle. The biggest thing is how are y'all going to get, through it? And Justin looking back at Alexis, I felt like he looked back at her because I felt like he felt like she needed to hear that. I promise y'all, I really think Alexis is really like checked out at this point. Unless, like, not to say unless, but she's checked out, but as well, it's just to say that I don't know if she's going to give Justin a chance to redeem himself at this point. I think she's already checked out and gone at this point, honestly, y'all. Like low key, like it was low key, like maybe she needed a reason, and now she has it, and just now, boom. While on the other side of me, I'm like, y'all were such in like this good place. This one incident. But at the same time, if it's my child, my fit, like I don't want to say it like that because I have not owned a dog in place of having a child. So while yes, I can definitely get how you can, because I did. I love my babies. I love my dogs. Max, even down to Justice. Oh, we didn't have Justice long. Max, like from a baby up until an adult to like we grew up with Max. Max grew up with us, like to a like getting rid of him. Like my mom knew she was doing get rid of Max while we were away because like it so I do get it. I do get it. But at the same time, I'd be wrong if I had to say that I don't find the animal and children thing weighing the same. But who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? So if something was to happen to my child in the midst of me dealing with somebody else, and hey, I guess in that situation, it would be their child. And where we had to go to the hospital and just, yeah, I don't want to sit here and doubt it would be a thing. It would be a thing. It would definitely be, a thing. What I have with that person, I think. But it's just like to say that, accidents can happen with anybody, with a stranger, could have been, her just meeting, somebody at a dog park and them deciding to, meet up and have a play date, and then boom, that dog just decides. But hey, those circumstances may be different. Like, this is somebody that she's married to now and that she's put her trust in because they've given her a word. But again, that's no different than somebody else giving her a word that, things are going to be great at a play date with another dog. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to fix it for them and for what? Because what is what it's gonna be. So because I didn't talk to them and I didn't got off of Ben and Morgan. So so yeah, so like I said, the trust thing, is a thing, is a thing for them. Of course, Pastor Cal, Pastor Cal, he wants to dig deep, figure out, where all that's, coming from. Typical daddy issues. She doesn't have a great relationship, with her father, which is now playing into her relationships, going forward today. Whereas she feels like, basically like she can't let people but so close in because she feels like if she does, they basically are going to end up hurting her, in the end. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like Pastor Kyle said, because like they kind of like started like the, talk it out with themselves. But y'all going to continue to have trust unless you make the conscious choice to let that wall down and like, all right, it's like, I get it. I get it if like these couples have to give each other more grace. Period. Period. It's like I understand that y'all relationship status has been thrusted forward, but you as individuals and people are still back here, whereas your marriage is up here. So you don't know each other. You're getting to know each other. So literally, like Pastor Kyle says, he says it every time. You have to give each other space to be human. You can't be so rigid that you don't allow each other to make mistakes. And then y'all don't know each other. Y'all just all getting to know each other. So I don't even feel like I gotta elaborate on that because that alone I feel like just has spoke the volume. Like that's that. Like that's just that. So we're gonna look forward to Morgan letting that wall down and the things are progressing because honestly, like beside like Ben and Morgan, they're one of the couples who I feel like it actually be all right in this process. Like it actually come out all right and good. Now we haven't got to his whole I'm a mama's boy type thing. We haven't figured that all part out just yet, but hey, and then first off, like I know, like, when he was with his friends and they were talking about it, but like, y'all, when he patted her on the back, and it was like, and then it was like a pat, like how you pat your boy, like, I was like, oh God, he got yeah, intimacy, PDA, like, sir, yeah, they got to work on that. They got to work on that. They got to work on that. All right, y'all, because I know I've been going. So let's talk about, Stassi and Nate, last couple, getting into it. If you've been here this long, y'all, give me a thumbs up. Let's get 5 likes. Not much to ask for. 5 likes, y'all. Like this video if you made it this far. If you made it this far, give this video a thumbs up. And let's talk about our last couple, which is Stasia and Nate. And Stasha and Nate. I don't know why I was going to call her Stasia. I think it's the I in there, but it's this Stasha. So, first off, Stasha is another, like, I'm mad that we didn't see her closet. Because I definitely feel like, and isn't she in real estate? So I know her wardrobe is like, boom, bow, bang it. So they over here arguing over things already from the get-go, which is like typical. And you know what it made me think of, y'all? It really made me think of like me and my ex and how when we moved and when we first got here in North Carolina, we moved into our apartment and that walk-in closet was everything. and I filled up that walk-in closet. Like, we never had to talk about it. We never had to like, well, how do you want to put your stuff? How do you want to put my stuff? Now, at the same time, I did call myself leaving, a certain side, a certain, some space in there for him. But at the same time, like, our dressing, our style is like Stasha. It's like Alexis and Nate. Like, I love clothes. I love what I wear. I love when I put on my body. I always want to be cute. Like, I don't call myself a very fashionable person, but just know, like, I love that type of stuff. So I may not be fashionable. What I put on, I consider to be fashion. Whether I'm going to put on what I want and I'm considered to be cute, whether it's in or not. I think that's basically what I'm just trying to say, whatever. Whether it's a trend or not, I want to wear it. I'm going to wear it. So, but I like to be trendy, though. Let's keep that clear. So either way. So whether as, I can't speak for Justin and how Justin sees clothes and fashion, whatever, whatever. But he just might not be big. That might not be big something like for him, like, the clothes thing, whatever. So that's like how I just kind of like, just see it or whatever, whatnot. So yes, if you've seen like some of my other videos from at that moment, I don't think it was on my vlog channel. It was on this channel at the time. But like when I did, my moving vlogs and I was doing my closet and just like y'all, like I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. At the same time, I still feel like I have stuff but I have stuff, but I don't have stuff. But either way, I'm getting on stuff that don't even make sense. But it's basically just to say that I took over the closet. We did not even ever talk about it. What was it to talk about? Like, we did have dressers, so I knew he would have a place. I had room for him in that closet. We had dressers, so I knew he would have a place to put his stuff. But at the same time, my stuff that hung up, like, needed like to be hung up. He didn't have anything that like needed to be hung up besides the button-up shirts that I bought. And oh yeah, but no, his DC, or is it DC or is it DG? The skateboard people. The guy, basically them shirt, the DK, is it DKG or DGK? I think it's DGK. Those type shirts, the shirts that you get from the skater store. What's the name of the store, whatever, whatnot, where you can get your Ethica, little janks or whatever, whatnot. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I can't figure it out. Or you can get the cute little that's where I go to get my fun air fresheners. And oh my God, I cannot believe I cannot think of the store right now. I'm probably gonna end up putting it down at the bottom because that's when I'm probably gonna think about it when I'm editing this video and it's gonna come to mind. But okay, yeah, like that's stuff that I would just like hang up for him. Like, as a matter of fact, his jeans, I don't even know what he was doing with his jeans. I don't even know. But y'all, so she wants to take over the sink. Was completely like understand. Like, you want to put like like they trying to figure it out. But at the same time, I'm feeling bad because I'm like, how you going to like try to call the shots on this bathroom? What about your husband? What about your, as if I considered my boyfriend at the moment. Granted, that was my husband still. We lived together. Like, I could have still considered, but we weren't arguing over no sink space. Not that we were even arguing about the closet space or whatever, whatnot. But our issue might have been the closet, where their issue might have been about the sinks or whatever, whatnot. Because we had the two, where they had the one, we had the two, what they call it, the his and her sinks or whatever, whatnot. So, y'all, getting off track. See, that's what happens when you get off track, and you get to talking over whatnot. But, y'all, but we knew, while I said that about the clothes, we knew that Stasha was like that girl for that girl. So whatever. Like, she even kind of like talked about, like, she gave us even an opening as to like what her place, looked like, where her house. Like, she had the little breakfast nook, like type little thing on her bed, like the tray with the flowers and like the whole like, and literally, she says she puts that, basically, that means she makes up her bed like that all the time and puts that, like, y'all, me making up my bed is literally just taking the blanket and just throwing it back over, okay? It don't look crazy, but it don't sit here and look like a whole, like I don't live here, like it's a stage, like, event. It can look nice, but I mean, you know what? Ashley, sit back and be quiet, because would your house look like that if you not have kids? Your house might look like that if you have kids. Like, I'm now trying to figure out how I can do the aesthetics that I want because I have kids. So I'm not coming for her, but it's just to say that I won't expect that. That's the first that I've seen. I didn't say that other people don't do it, but it's the first that I've seen someone who actually uses that as like a, really like an aesthetic, like for their home, even for a room that's consistently used on a regular basis. So what else they had going on, y'all? So, oh no, like he had the whole, but then he, like, his place, I think, oh yes, he had the whole, like, wine glasses with the, that were clearly, like, not fully clean. And so it automatically made her go into the sense of, like, oh, he had a woman over. It made me think of that one friend, that girl at the wedding who couldn't seem to get herself together and still thought that they were still gonna be doing all these he married. He married now, bro. He's married now. But y'all, so when I was watching this episode with my daughter and they was talking about their income, Jada was just like, I don't think she had caught like his income in the very beginning. And so, and I had told her what I had previously made at Capital One. She was like, oh yeah, that's good. I said, yeah, Jada, it's good. I said, but he's making this three beginning digits to my 2. And she was like, oh, yeah. And then she talking about some 415. And you talk about some, y'all want to be financially ready for kids? Sir, I definitely was not financially ready. And I am, I feel like if anything, you got to step ahead of me, because I feel like you can go, you can set them babies up for college. Get them babies ready for college. Get them babies ready for college. Because I'm doing okay with myself. Besides the fact of trying to prepare for my baby's future, for my kids' future and stuff like that. Like, you are, sir, 150? And you just want to get to 215? And she made over 4? But it ain't gonna be just the kid thing, y'all. It's not gonna be the kid thing that's gonna be their hiccup. It's gonna be, what is it gonna be, y'all? It's oh yes. Nate hasn't been vulnerable. They've been, clearly they've been talking, whatever, but Sasha feels like it's been a lot of surface level. And they talk about, that they technically have not been intimate yet, Stasha needs to feel like, basically that she's in love. And she described, what feeling in love to her, feels like. And at the same time, he's telling Nate, like, if you start to open this up, this is going to open up your intimacy. Like, you're holding the key to your intimacy. I think men don't realize a lot of that or whatever or whatnot these days. Like that they be holding the keys to what's holding them back from getting what they're getting. Little do they know. But when basically they fast forwarded and, Stasha was trying to pull back the layers of, Nate and his mom or whatever or whatnot. Like, that's Nate, in my eyes, is a prime example of disconnect or detached. Like in which that's kind of like would and it made me feel like, because she said it, like she know, like it made me feel like she understands that she knows, but at the same time it's like she doesn't, because she's gonna have to understand that for majority of his life, or at least a good period of his life, if he's grown to detach and disconnect from those feelings, become numb when it comes to his mom, him being with you and you asking questions is not now going to gonna fix that. And like I don't want her to hold that against their marriage, because I believe that that's something that can be worked with. I think because of the circumstances, he's detached and he's disconnected from those feelings and emotions, and that's why he has nothing. Like, it sucks. It very well sucks. But it sucks because I don't think he realizes it. And I don't think he realizes that of what he can do to possibly help to like maybe like get at it's for me it's definitely gonna be some work. If he's not gonna work with a light worker, it's definitely gonna be therapy to help to come out of that, because it's nothing that she can do. Her asking, her prying, like there's nothing that she can do that's going to help him to start to like be able to, because this is what he's done for so long. There's he's detached. Like that's the best way. That's all I can just say, y'all, is that he's completely detached from, his feelings, his connection, like anything with his mom. It's like he's like even like put a wall up. He's like, okay, well, can you just give me something? And he can't even remember to even think to give her something. Or is it he just doesn't allow himself he may not be even allowing himself to take it there. And that is in addition to already the detachment and all that. Like, so that's definitely something that because she needs that. And not even that she needs it. I think we all need that vulnerability in a relationship. And looking at it, me and my ex could possibly be in a different space if I would have gotten that vulnerability. So yeah, all that to say. Cause y'all, but this could just be me. Like I might have like really like taking y'all, and I don't know if I was really just like taking my time this time, or just like really just talking more in depth about the couples. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it at that. I don't want to ramble on anymore because I feel like at this point this video is probably about an hour long, maybe. maybe not, but that's how it is. Like, that's why I was talking about why I wanted y'all to be able to get someone else besides me on these episodes. Like I promised y'all I had someone else for me. Fuss at my sister because she was supposed to be prepared so that we could do this recap together. So nonetheless, y'all, drop me some likes if you enjoyed this recap. Drop me some comments. Let me know how y'all think these move-ins went with these couples. Was I crazy? Did it not just seem like something a little bit different off with with their move-in? Maybe it was just me. And anything else I just might have, not mentioned on, or, whatever, y'all. Like, I endure. I don't care. Like, be real. And I think one of my followers was just like, hey, got prompt like, y'all, I love interaction. I love, seeing y'all comments down below. Clearly you get my, you've gotten my insight or my thoughts. So while I may not necessarily comment, because I don't want to turn around and repeat everything clearly what you've already heard me said, but I do appreciate you guys interact with me and dropping your comments down below. You'll definitely get some type of interaction, whether it's me just giving you a simple response, some emojis, a like, a love, something. Just know that it's greatly appreciated that you decided to spend your time here with me, and then as well show me a little bit of love. So now that I've rambled on for enough amount of time, I'm going to see y'all later. Peace. See y'all next week.